Sports. Welcome to Pop Culture Minefield Saturday Morning Funtime. This is Zax telling you to get those breakfast bowls ready because away we go.
And I'll get no claim on that. I tested it. Yeah, I redrew the mouse as watch. It's a black mouse and a white mouse.
I love that. I think it's great.
And Tom from Midnight's Edge came up with the and that's the way the crookie crumbles. Fucking Tom. He's the bomb diggity yo. Good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning fun time. We are here to entertain you. Let's see who's in the crowd. I'm not going to count anybody that's in the chat. I mean, on the show. Let's see. Das Wolfen is here. What is up, John? He is a friend of all three of us, Keith, David, and myself. And Rough Girl is here. Hi, Rough Girl. Liam, who's it? Liam Lionheart. Are you new? I don't recognize that name. An old man. I know quite a few old men, but I don't know if you're the same old man. So welcome to the show, old man. That just sounds weird saying that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Look at my life.
I felt weird saying that. Get out here, old man. Anyway, welcome.
Old man, look at my life.
Das Wolfen says some hellos. We're not getting interesting stuff yet because we are. Oh, War Monkey is here. What is up, War Monkey? Best monkey in the world is a war monkey. That's a fact. Has anyone seen anything about the new Winnie the Pooh movie? No. We're all seeing pretty much all that's available right now. And I think everyone I know is stoked about this fucking movie. It's like Piglet and Pooh go on a killing rampage. Fuck the yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm skipping people in the show because if they want to say something, they can fucking open their mouths.
If you want us.
David, as you can tell, I'm kind of a dick. I say things that are kind of mean.
How long have I known you?
I know, right?
I
met you and Keith within seconds of each other.
Yep.
And you two became my first technically my first friends in Springfield, Missouri. Almost immediately. I'm like, but I looked at David and I said, I've got a lot of white friends. I'll go and collect him, but I've only got one black friend back in Virginia. So Keith, will you be my black friend? And he said,
it was discount coupon day. So yes,
coupon day. Thank you, Pat. Pat S, of course, a producer on this show. He always stops in the morning. I hope you're doing well, Pat, because I know you've. Well, I don't know if you want me to talk about, but he's been going through a little bit of physical therapy, and you can kick my ass later. And just happy and proud of you, man. You're a good friend too. And I'm quickly going through. Keely Chow is here. Hello, Keely. Pop Culture Minefield is here. They said hi. Fuck those people. I can't stand them. Going live, whatever. What do they know? Let's see. Oh, King's Port Cal is here. What's up? He has become a new regular on in our chat. I fucking love his comments, man. Das Wolfen, I've known him too long. He never says anything interesting in the chat. I'm just kidding. I love you, John. All right.
Rough Girl.
Parrot Head's here.
Okay.
And here's another friend of ours from VisionCon, Jacob the Critic. He is here. And I bought a chest of drawers from him once. And but when I moved, Deanna wouldn't let me bring them with me. So I couldn't sell them. Nobody would buy them. It was too quick a sell. So I ended up having to just give them away to a lady with her and her kid. Oh, there's Brandon. Hey, Brandon. How you doing, my buddy?
Good morning, Gary. I am doing most excellent. I must apologize. My internet's kind of being shitty with me again, so if I...
It's all right, buddy. Don't worry about it, man. I'm just glad you're here.
You're paying $1,000 a month for it, and it's being shitty. What's going on here?
Oh, shit. 70s is on. That means I can invite him onto the show. No show is complete unless it has somebody that speaks Scottish that you can't fucking understand. And I love that about it. He starts talking, and I'm like, where's the translation? I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Yes.
You know,
So real quick, if I may, Gary.
Oh, what's that?
I think I've told pretty close to everybody, but I don't think I've mentioned it to you. I got the email. I've been monetized.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's fantastic, dude. And it's it's not due to any help that any of us gave, man. It's all you.
No, it's not me. It absolutely is not me at all.
Put on a good show.
Yeah, well, I try to put on, I try to put on the show that I would like to see, and hopefully that everybody else would like to see. And it's not everybody showing up to watch.
I'm not saying people like your show.
I watch it and I hate it. I absolutely hate it and still watch it.
I love you, Brandon. You and Steven, right below me, Deleted Scene, have the other two morning shows before ours. And Breakfast Cereal with Steven is at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you follow him at what, I think 10 a.m. Central Time. And then you come onto my show, and we celebrate Saturday mornings, man, because as you can see by the border of us, I love fucking Saturday morning shit. I love it.
Yep.
Not just pop culture, but anything that was entertaining on Saturday mornings. And that was my favorite day of the fucking week as a kid. 70s, we'll be waiting for you. I can hardly wait to not understand you.
But congratulations there, Brandon.
Yeah, congratulations, dude. Next will be Steven on his show. And I'm looking forward to people actually watching your show in the morning, Steven. Eventually they will. You get too early, man. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good show. If you guys aren't watching Breakfast Cereal with Steve in the morning, with Deleted Scenes. Yes, get that coffee pumping. I learned in the Army that if you're unable to deliver an IV to a wounded soldier, that you delivered all fluids through the anus. And that's how I take it. I take an anal IV of coffee every morning so you can't see it.
Of course you did. Yeah, okay.
That was warm. That was really warm. I like that one. You guys believe anything. But anyway, I want to thank the chat for being here. Awesome One is here too. Gosh, who else slipped in? Did I see anybody else slip in? Pacific 414. Glad you guys are showing up. Look at this rough girl with the. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were here, Martin. Martin Acosta Santana is here. He is. I forgot the name you wanted me to call him. He's from a movie, but anyway, he is running the chat, and I'm going to stop touching the chat. My hand is off the mouse. Come by and see my early show at 5:30. Well, if you have a Saturday morning show, you need to get with us. We have a network, and we support our network. Saturday morning shows. So get in a private chat with me, or if you have the balls, jump on the show with us and talk about it. And before we get into the interview with my friend, David Stanfield, that guy, he is hosting a show, a new convention in Springfield called Tremendicon. He needed artwork done for it. And knowing, my extensive work in art, he absolutely asked for nothing from me.
True.
He went to my buddy Gary Bedell, the other Gary, the black Gary, because he's cooler. He's black.
That's the whole motivation behind it.
He's the cool Gary in Springfield, Gary Bedell.
Another guy that had a coupon sale just for you.
Yes. And what's funny, I will tell you this. I did that graphic novel about the Bayeux Tapestry. It's a 124-page graphic novel. There is one page in that graphic novel not drawn by me. And I challenge you to figure out which page. You can't. Because he absolutely took my style of drawing and did it exactly the way I draw. And he did that as a favor. think I paid him, but I think he told me not to pay him, but I think I threw him something. But Gary Bedell is just a wonderful guy, man. Good friend. Fucking love that guy.
Interesting stories of why he did the logo for Tremendicon.
Let's hear it.
So COVID hits, right? And we're all locked down. So I decided that I was going to really double down on the game design aspect of my life. And I don't know why, even against everybody's advice, I decided I want to make a logo for my game design company, and I want to make a logo for the game I'm making. So I asked Gary, and Gary said yes. I expected
other Gary.
Other Gary, yes. And so during COVID is when we also came up with the idea to do Tremendicon and to start on that. So I just said, hey, you want to do that logo? Because he had done a fantastic job with the other two, and he's knocking out.
No, he is a very good designer. And
but one thing that I found about Mr. Bedell is exactly what you're saying. Is he's very good at altering his style.
Yep.
Yes, it's uncanny how well he does with that.
And it's really funny because when we met, it was like, wait a minute, there are two Garys in Springfield that are comic artists.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that? I always thought that was so strange. And then we would become friends, and then we would live one city block from each other for years. Odd.
It is odd, yeah.
Oh, the other odd thing is I just learned that, Mr. Stanfield, gets very creative when he's locked up. So
it's true. I do.
And he's a good kisser.
Only you know that.
I know.
You're not supposed to tell anybody.
I know. It's COVID drove me crazy, so I had to. I'm going to share the screen real quick. Hold on a second. Share screen. Tremendicon. This is the logo that Gary designed.
Nice.
Yeah, he went with a timeless theme to it. Kind of a throwback. There's a lot of 80s and 90s.
There's absolutely, that looks like something right out of the 1980s. He picked just the right colors, but thematically, it could fit in any time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter because everybody loves the 80s. The only people who don't love the 80s are assholes, and we don't want to be friends with them. Oh, that's a fact. By the way, I want to welcome to the show this morning on the panel my good friend from Scotland, but he doesn't live in Scotland anymore. He lives in Canada for some weird fucking reason.
Moved from one gulag to another. Yeah.
There you go. This is
well.
Now he does his own shows, and I want to get on one of his shows because I am a big fan of 70s
I
rock.
just invited you to my show on Monday. So.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. So Monday, I was busy preparing for my show on Monday, which is an extravaganza on Queen and A Night at the Opera in particular.
Love that album.
Yeah. So you got to come. Hey,
I'll be there.
Anyone's welcome to join.
But I definitely want to do a show with you on Peter Gabriel, Genesis, Mike Rutherford, Tony Banks. I don't care too much for Steve Hackett. When he was with Genesis, I did, but
yes.
I bought his album Hackett to bits, and I don't know, man. Without them, it was just it didn't work for me.
I like his classical acoustic stuff, which he's done a couple of albums of, just Jimna Paddy and Jim.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's not great, because he is great, an amazing guitarist. But the fact is my connection seemed to be really with Tony Banks and Phil Collins more than anything. Yeah. And then, but I enjoyed Mike Rutherford's solo album, and then when he broke out with Mike and the Mechanics, was like, wow, that's
Mike
great.
And the Mechanics had some great vocalists for them. They had Paul Carrick.
Paul Carrick, who could fucking sing the phone book.
Paul Young, but not the Paul Young that had all the hits.
The other
guy
Paul
called
Young.
Paul Young from Sad Cafe. Great singer as well. These guys were great vocalists. Yeah. Paul Carrick is a fantastic musician.
Yeah, I wished in many ways that he had done all the vocals for the album, because Paul Young was really good, but his songs never really hit that hard.
He didn't get the biggest hits, I don't think.
No, he didn't. But welcome to the show this morning, 70s. I appreciate you showing up.
Thank you for having me, guys. Yeah,
It's great
Good to
to
meet
consider
you.
you part of this panel, and I'm going to make David Stanfield's big head even bigger by putting him on the main screen. I think my head is actually bigger than yours. I have a 7 3/4 hat size. What size do you wear?
I think mine's a 6.
Yeah, you got a small head.
So,
You
Gary,
have a
that just
fat head. I'm
You're-
sorry.
you're-
that just goes to show that
You're a
some
pinhead.
some spaces can be full of empty space, Gary, no matter how big they are.
Oh, you
That's-
know
that's
that.
physics.
You know it. You know it. You fucking Scotsman.
That's how he's showing you love, Gary. Come on, you know that.
That's how I show my love. Is I
It's
shit
from a
on my
place
friends.
of love. It's from a
It
place
does.
of love.
Every bit of shit that I throw at my friends is love.
That's right.
If I ain't shitting on you, I either don't know you or I don't like you.
You don't care.
I do have to
Steven.
say
I never talk shit about Steven ever.
I do have to say one thing. I do love those Star Frontier boxes you have behind you there.
Oh, do you? Thank you. I just got these the other day. So I ordered one off of a platform, and it only had like the basic stuff, and then I saw someone.
Yeah, those are floppies, aren't they? In that game?
No, this is old school TSR.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
This is
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, and somebody put one up. It was the exact same thing. The box was in a little bit worse condition, but it had like a bunch of modules and stuff in it, and so I got that one too. So, and I got them for a great price.
It's good to hear.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I got my original
Yeah.
one up there somewheres.
So before we
know
get
it's
into
gonna
the
work.
rest of the show, I want to do an interview, and I want you to stick around as part of the panel too, David. 'Cause
Okay.
I got you on the show, and you're not allowed to leave until the show ends.
Okay.
So
gotta go.
let's
Is
start
this a
talking
hostage
about.
situation?
Let's yeah, it is. I want to do a show where we pretend like we're locked into the show and can't get out. I can't escape. Let me out. Let me out.
It might be today.
But let's talk about Tremendicon. What led to Tremendicon? Because Springfield has one of the largest conventions going in the state, which is VisionCon, which
Right.
you were a part of. You and Keith were both part of. I never worked there, but I was friends with all you fuckers because I love going to VisionCon.
Right.
But now you're going to be doing this, and it's funny because seems to me, Keith, and I talked like 6-7 years ago about me. Like, I wanted to do a con. And it's nice to see you fucking doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I did run VisionCon. I ran it for 3 years, and it was after the great 2007 convention year that we don't talk about. And I was part of VisionCon before that as staff, and I just paid a lot of attention to what people were saying. I just absorbed all this information about how a convention should be run, people's opinions, and not all of it's good advice, but some of it is something you should consider, especially when it comes to like what's making vendors happy, what's making guests happy, what's making the attendees happy, what's not. You have to pay attention to that stuff, and I just kind of did without really thinking about it. And then when I took over VisionCon, I was able to, number one, bring it back from the dead, and then make it something better. And you've seen the momentum of it now. The momentum is great. It's still going, And I walked away from that several years ago. But it was never the convention I wanted.
Yeah, I remember when you and Keith left.
Yeah. I mean, I left on on top. I had accomplished almost everything I wanted to accomplish when I left. And
I'm glad you left because you're kind of an asshole while running it. You're great, dude. I fucking loved you, dude. I still love you, man. And I'm going to point out again, and I'll find it. I'll show it during this interview. You were the first person to buy one of my Fuck Che t-shirts.
Yes.
And you put it on and posed for me, and I was like, I fucking love you, David. You're so
Did
awesome.
he have underwear on at the time, though?
You can't tell because I shot from the waist up, but no, he didn't. He was fucking commando all the way.
And his wife still married him.
Yeah.
His wife is awesome. She's a great lady.
Crazy.
Amy is phenomenal. She's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. She's better than me. But so Tremendicon, right? So I decided to do this convention, and I want to do this convention in the way that I want to run a convention. I want it to be thematically what I want. I want it to be ran the way I want. And I've seen, once you work for a convention, you never don't see behind the veil when you go to a convention. You're seeing things and you're like, I know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
And you can see the problems that are happening. So I applied all this information and all this knowledge to this convention. And we're not trying to get celebrities in. We're not trying to get people that don't need your money in. We're trying to focus on creators. And that is what we're doing. It's completely nonprofit. Our profits are going to Ozark Food Harvest and also back into the creators community. We're doing a lot of educational stuff, a lot of inspirational things. And all of our guests that are coming are putting back into the convention in some way. It's really this is my love letter to the fan and creative culture. I can't say any better than that. It's me giving the culture love.
Yeah, and you've got some great stuff, and I'm showing the website, by the way, and I put the link down below in the chat, so you can actually go check out the official website. It shows who the guests are going to be. It gives the schedule, and you're going to be doing workshops. You're going to be focusing on education, and I love shit like that, dude. I don't know if you're still going to be able to do the thing I suggested, but I hope one day you'll be able to, which is set up a movie set and have people that know how to work on a movie set teach other people how to work on a movie set.
Well, I will tell you this. Your idea hasn't been fully lost. So it's a tracked convention. And for those of you who don't know what a tracked convention is, track conventions they just allow you as an attendee to focus on what you really want throughout the entire convention. So
right,
you really want to just look at what stuff that authors are doing and writers are doing. You can do that through the entire convention because there's like a curriculum just for them. Well, we have a multimedia curriculum too, a track, and they're actually going to do some like behind the scenes stuff to like how movies are made. And so that isn't lost. The track director has salvaged your idea to make it a little bit more confinable within the time periods that he has. And I think our guest Wyatt Weed is going to be part of that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I'm very passionate about filmmaking. I know Keith is too. And Missouri lost its tax credit, and we need to fight to get that back. And we need to teach people how to work on movie sets and start getting them making movies in Missouri again. And to give back to because there's a lot of people here that have worked on film crews. Yep. And we like to get that back, man. I hope you'll be part of that fold of people fighting to get we have a film commission, but they're part of Parks and Recreation still. We need to get them in their own department again and start generating some revenue for some of the communities in Missouri when films were coming here and making fucking movies, and they were. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the last big one was Winterbone with Jennifer Lawrence.
10 years ago, it was really easy to find films being made in Missouri. It was really easy to find independent films. It seems like that's even fallen off.
Well, with no tax credit, it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
So we
got
one of the things we did. What's that? Hold on, I think getting some feedback on your mic, David.
Is that better?
Do you have a headset?
I'm using a lapel mic.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you have a headset for listening, if you got your audio coming through your speaker, that might be what's causing that.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Okay.
But we did look at doing an independent film festival, and unfortunately, we just couldn't find enough filmmakers to do it.
And that really sucks. I know they were trying to do the same thing down here in Branson, but I just don't think it's working out. I mean,
No.
Jason Brazier is a friend of Keith's and mine, and I think you know him too, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. He's somebody definitely that might be able to help you network to do something like that. But but let's get back into Tremendicon. I don't want to derail and go off into weird directions. But
why not? You always do it.
Fuck you.
Well, it's true.
It is true. Guys, heard about that self-flushing toilet? That sounds great. I'm going to put myself. Anyway, so we've got Tremendicon. It's going to be. Oh, there it is again. What is that?
I don't know that it's coming from me.
Hold on. I'm going to.
That's Gary's colostomy machine.
I'm muting me.
Oh, I thought so.
Not me. It stopped now. It stopped. Okay.
Okay.
It's the
I think it's Keith Snats.
Oh, gnats. Okay.
Yeah, he thought you said nads.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got those noisy
Well,
nads.
they're pretty big, so yeah.
Nads or nards.
Gary and Keith, I would love to stick around, but I have my daughter with me today, and I'm gonna buzz out for a bit and just listen on the replay. So
Okay, buddy. Thanks for dropping in, man. Love you, buddy.
Congratulations,
You
Brandon.
betcha.
And yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations
congrats.
again.
Congratulations again.
well, thank you.
you have a lot of
Thank
fun
you.
with daughter.
All right, guys.
And congratulations.
Later,
Take
buddy.
care.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
See ya.
So it's going to be June 17th to the 19th.
That's right. It's over Father's Day weekend. And there's never been a better reason to bring your nerdy dad to a convention than Father's Day
I'll
weekend.
tell that to my daughter.
There you go. See, yeah, I mean, it's a standard convention in a lot of ways. We have all this tracked stuff, but we have a gaming room, we have movie rooms, we have a vendor's room, but we're doing things that are a little bit extra. We're addressing the creators in this area, I guess you could say, and but we're also doing things like we have a pinball tournament on Saturday. That's being sponsored by 1984 Arcade.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. There's advantages to having known Jason and Devin Durham all since I was like 10. So I was like, you guys are coming, right? So they decided to do it. But also, and this is why I really feel like if you are my age or younger and you don't want to come to this convention, it's because you hate the Beastie Boys. Because Saturday night at 8:00 in main programming, the convention is going to pivot and we're having a concert. We're going to have DJP open up for us, and then Mixmaster Mike of the Beastie Boys is going to come and do his show. And there's no extra cost. All you have to have is a badge, even if it's a Saturday only badge. Yep. Which I encourage you, if you want to get a badge, go get it now, because our early bird discount, which is $10 off the door cost, is about to expire. So at the door it's $50. Right now it's $40.
Do you have a VAG badge?
Oh, a VAG badge.
If you don't, I'm trademarking it right now.
Okay. It's all you, man. But there's a lot of ways that you can get a badge. You can be a game master. If you sign up for 6 hours of game and schedule it, you can get a badge for $20. If you want to volunteer, we need volunteers. Please, if you're listening to this and you want to come to the convention and you're like $50 or $40, $20, be a volunteer. Super. And all you have to do is give us 6 hours of your time. Please.
Minimum, but if you can give me all weekend, that's great.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put Keith to work, but he's already signed up.
Well, I'm going to be there too with Keith, because we're also going to be broadcasting live from the convention.
Yep. Yeah, and you know what I did for you guys is this goes out to anybody else who's interested in doing this. So he just asked that you promote the convention, like Keith and Gary have been doing, and that is. We have a press room. So we took one of the hotel rooms in the Oasis Convention Center and we've converted it into a press room so that you can do interviews without having to be in an extremely noisy crowd. It's just another thing that I've paid attention to, and I know that you guys don't like that. So, and we can actually get, you know, time with guests to come in there whenever they're not doing their panels and come and actually do interviews.
Yeah,
So,
and I like that idea. Keith and I, we've been doing interviews for a long time. In fact, we're going to be having Sarah Frazetta back on the show here soon. Looking forward to getting some of our classic guests back on the show because we don't do enough interviews. Fact is, it's exhausting trying to do it because you know what it's like, David, trying to schedule stuff like that. And I'm working on 2 graphic novels of other people's and working on 4 of my own. I run into time issues of trying to get people on the show. So I end up doing streams where we're just bantering. It's just because it's so hard. But what you're pulling off here, and I did notice, by the way, you have 2 of my friends that are going to be artists at the show.
are they your 2 only friends besides me?
Yeah, most of these people don't like me. I'm looking. Adam McLaughlin is a good friend of mine. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah, I love Adam.
He did a really good caricature of me that I just absolutely cherish. And my buddy Matt Decker is going to be there.
Yep. Yeah, actually, so something very interesting. So, like I said, all of our guests are putting back into the convention. Adam is doing 3 hours of makers content. He didn't want to do artist content. He wanted to do makers content where he's kit bashing to make models and then also painting those.
I didn't know Adam was into that.
Yeah, big time. Mm-hmm. And Matt Decker is doing the comic book boot camp where he's going to do a 3-part series talking about how to make comic books.
Yeah, he needs to pull me in on that. I'll help him.
Just tell him. You go and talk to him.
I'll message him on Facebook. But okay, I want to go back because, you know, Six is here. Hey, Six, what are you doing? Nice to see you. She has joined the chat, and of course, she asked the question, badge? And then, of course, Martin says,
not what you said.
Or somebody says, that's not what Gary said.
No. I heard it.
A badge. And then, let me see. And then, Zach's. Hey, Zach's, how you doing, buddy? You don't need no stinking veggies.
Speak for yourself. Veggies are always nice.
And then
Big
War
fan.
Monkey was the one
Big
that says, I don't think that's what Gary said, Six.
It's not.
Punk Waddle is here. Hey, Punk Waddle. Kit bashing, yes. So I guess that's what he's going to be doing. That's really cool. Adam is a really good fucking artist, and I did not know that about him. We talked about art all the time.
Well, you know, when I talked to him, I kind of gave him some options. I approached him as an artist, and I mean, it's all artistic, but he said, he's like, this is what I've been doing a lot. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and as president of the convention, I seem to be taking up other duties, and the makers track is mine. I've been designing that. And he said, I'd love to be doing stuff like, you know, resin printing and 3D printing and paints and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay. And so he gave me that track content. It's fantastic what he's going to do. People are really looking forward to it.
Have people been contacting? Have you been talking to a lot of people in the community that are coming?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have said they're going to be coming. We need them to go buy badges. I mean, that's what, if you say you're going to come, go buy a badge.
Buy the badge.
Yeah.
So look, if you're in the region, this is well worth your time, guys. Come watch it. Join the show and be a part of it. And
well, it's fun to learn stuff. This is a learning convention, is what I've been telling people. This is about really the content and what you come away with.
Exactly.
Once you're done with the weekend. Because most of the time when you go to a convention, people are usually there to either see their friends, which is a good thing, see the guest, another good thing, to go to the dealer's room, buy stuff, you know, participate in things. Trying to put this convention together, I think the number one thing that I think all of us could agree was that we wanted everyone that attended to come away with something extra for the money that they are spending and the time that they are giving us. And the most important thing is to learn something.
Yep.
A new skill, possibly.
I'm
Well,
laughing at the chat. I'm sorry. They're being brutal to me.
One of the things that I really liked about when I ran VisionCon was coming to find out that some of the guests had collaborated on things, and so new stuff had been created out of just the happenstance encounter of them meeting each other at the convention.
Mm-hmm.
And also there were a lot of attendees that would say, hey, I talked to this guy and now I like doing art, Well, I would love that, if just one person comes to me 5 years later and says, hey, I went there and I met Lorenzo Lozana, or I met Colin Bunn, and now I'm a writer or I'm an artist, and I can do that for a living now. But I didn't know that about myself before the convention. It's all worth it, just one.
Sounds like an interesting stream in its own in terms of the con. Success stories that have come out of it, and people talking about those success stories to others. So, it's showing the value of what they've learned by attending. I think that's a bit of a track there on its own,
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And also, we shifted our focus to kids as well. So there's actually, if you come as a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old,
I identify as a 13-year-old.
That's not your IQ they're talking about, Gary.
Yeah, Gary, you can't be part of the kids track.
Hey, I was a smart 13.
But kids are going to get to experience all of the tracks through their own track. So I just don't think children get enough exposure to creative outlets, and this way they will. Maybe they'll walk away with a lifetime hobby or a goal in life to do something. I mean, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Again, we're trying to put a good out there,
Yeah, it's all about positivity and learning. I think one of the tracks that I want to put through is how Kurtzman Trek is really bad for you, but I didn't.
It's got a health warning. Should be on every show.
It should, because I believe it does cause cancer.
Well, what this really sounds
it
like
causes
is
galloping knob rot.
Hey, Gap, Stargate is here. I wanted to welcome them to the chat. It's good seeing you, Stargate. I hope you're doing well, having a good weekend. We are here with our good friend, David Stanfield. He is promoting his new convention in Springfield, Missouri. It is something that if you can travel, come to it. I'm telling you. Get your badge. And it is called Tremendicon. And I'm going to share the link again here. Add the link. Boom, there it is.
By the way,
actually, I'll make it large.
Here is the 8-bit logo that Gary Bedell did. He took the logo and made it 8-bit.
Hold on. Let me put you in large. There you go.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did that on my request. I was like, I'd really like to make this look like a monochrome green screen. He goes, okay.
And
he did
assuming
it.
those who can't go are able to buy merchandise like the T-shirt you just showed, or
we will have a limited amount of shirts there, but we will have them. Yes.
You should have a shop on this website right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'd like to buy that T-shirt because I can't go.
Put that shop up, man. Sell some merch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going to conventions myself, I haven't gone to conventions for a long time. But just like Keith was saying, you meet up with a lot of friends. You meet up with a lot of the actors, writers, and such. But you don't really come away with anything more than the fact that you had a good time party. This sounds like something that.
Well, that was VisionCon. VisionCon was a party con.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of conventions are, party cons. But this sounds like something that could get just like Gary was saying about Kurtzman Trek giving you cancer and all this. This seems like something where you can start explaining a little bit more about storytelling, our model making, or how these important things are, the creativity, and try to get that fire going. Because like you said, you're making it as kid friendly, which is a great thing. That's one thing a lot of conventions seem to forget to do. They only aim for the adults, and hopefully, maybe this can be something that will help start a new renaissance in fandom and storytelling, comics, movies, TV shows, games, all the like.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a educational and creativity convention, and out of this, I hope that many not only find themselves thinking about something differently or going a different direction, but a certain percentage of these people may wind up as convention guests at conventions within the next 5 to 10 years.
Exactly. And but that is not to say if none of that interests you, you can still come and have a lot of fun. We have a lot of stuff going on that doesn't have anything to do with our creative tracks. We made sure of that. However, we've snuck in some stuff. Like if you're a gamer, but you're like, I don't care about the game design track. Well, you might be going into the game room helping somebody play test one of their games because we've encouraged that. And another thing, have you played the Deadlands role-playing game system? Shane Hensley, the guy who created it, is going to be at Tremendicon, and he's going to run Deadlands there. I mean, that's pretty amazing in and of itself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, you never know. I mean, the thing about a convention, a really good convention, but the thing about a convention is you never know sometimes who you're going to end up meeting, connecting with, what you're going to find out, what new fandom that you could become a part of.
Right.
That is part of the mix and fun of going to one of these. And for those of you that want to try something a little different, I would highly suggest that you attempt to come to this, because I think it is about sparking the creativity of fans, which is really how all of this really started in the 70s again. There had always been conventions, but you needed to have very creative fandom in order for this to grow to become what it is today. And we're about helping to at least ignite some of that creativity and hopefully get people to, understand that learning something is always a good thing. So if you're not careful, you just might learn something.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. So Gary and Keith and I, and maybe some others on this panel, I'm not as familiar with you guys, but we can sit here, we can talk about conventions from late 80s, early 90s to now and how they've changed. Do you guys remember? Yes, VisionCon was a party convention, and it kind of always was. However, there was like this huge family aspect to it. You had con friends, convention friends that you only saw once a year.
Yeah, you two were my first friends in Springfield when I moved there.
And we only try to see you like once a year.
I know. It really hurts.
But I want that to be part of what fuels Tremendicon as well. I want people to feel like this is a destination for them every year. They're going to find friends. We were going to do a speed dating thing for nerds, right?
Oh my God.
Well, so the people that were going to do it were like, wait a minute, in today's society and how things are working right now, that is going to be super complicated. So we don't want to do that. They said, why don't we just find a con buddy? So that's what we're doing on Friday night. We're going to have find a con buddy. It's like speed dating, but you're just trying to find common interests to find a friend for the weekend.
It's sort of
find a tribe.
It's just like in the Army with battle buddies, only different.
Well, I mean, again, it's everyone has that first convention. Everybody remembers their very first convention. Everybody at least remembers what it is you loved about it, what was amazing. You never really forget that time. And part of what makes it what it is going through and finding people like you. For many people that had never been to a convention before, that was the thing that really stuck out to them. Yes. Was going someplace and finding an entire convention's worth of people who were like them. Finding your tribe was the important thing. And once you have that convention, once you have that convention, yeah. I'm trying
David
to ignore
doesn't
that.
know about this joke. Holly is a friend of ours that does a show called Latino Slant, and he jokingly referred to me as Backdoor Gary. and it's become a thing now. I wanted to put it on a shirt, and I've been told not to do that, but I'm like, come on, man, it's fucking funny. So it's an ongoing thing, and Six, the one that's on there right now, who said that she had a con boyfriend before, she's the one who helped perpetuate it, as well as Zach's and a few other of my friends. I'm not saying deleted scene down here, Steven, but I'm saying deleted scene Steven also helped keep it going, because he's
The
a
guy
rat
who doesn't say
bastard.
anything.
All my
That
friends are
entire family motif I've found over the years has also been something that's happened. People have had con moms and dads,
Yeah.
you know, con brothers, con sisters, you know.
Well, did you read Gap's comment here? Read this one right here.
Oh,
Yes.
Out loud. I meant out loud, Keith.
Oh, that's why I love this stream. You guys have a variety of things, and I get inspired, and I get to be introduced to new fandoms and great people.
And great
That's
people.
what we do
referring
here.
to David.
Right.
You know, and I got to tell you, Keith and I have a lot of really good friends here in the region. And David is top of that list because, you know, he's one of us. One of us.
Google gobble.
But it is the community is kind of a family, which means some of us are kind of broken.
Kinda? What do you mean, kinda?
Some
Well,
of us
you know-
are more needy than others. So we're a
That's true.
family.
Some are closer to the trunk of the family tree than others.
Some of them ruin dinners. Absolutely can ruin a dinner. I'm not saying
It's
any
like
names, but Nathan
it's like
Shelton
one
is
massive-
kind of an asshole.
It's like one massive family reunion, especially for the convention that you love to go
It's
to.
really what it
It's like a
feels
once a year. Yeah. And so you can go to one of these and learn certain things. You know, like a real family reunion, you can learn like certain things you're not supposed to know from your cousins. You know, you can find out different things and just hang out with people. I mean, that's the reason why people. I know it doesn't sound like the type of place, but there are people that love bringing their kids and love bringing their newborns.
Right.
You know, and it just becomes one massive family reunion. That's all.
And it's really weird when you fast forward 10, 15 years and that kid is coming to the convention on their own,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, because that's what they've grown up in. They live that life, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody's phone.
I
is
just
going
think that it's. I just think it's really kind of cool.
Yes. Thank you. It's
off.
not
All right,
me.
when are you motherfuckers guilty?
Not me.
Not me.
I'm
Okay,
muted by
hold on.
headphones.
Hello, is anybody there? Hello.
Keith's
Yeah,
got that
yesterday
implanted in his
Keith was
head.
talking to somebody else and not us. It's really funny. I think that was after the show, though. Nobody got to see that. Hold on. Six says the back of Gary's T-shirt says "faster, more intense." But
What I've always found fascinating with conventions too is you got that one convention celebrity. It's not a celebrity that gets brought in, but there's someone who's such a character that everybody recognizes every time they show up. It's like, oh, it's that. You know, it's like now the convention's complete. They're here, and everyone flocks around, and they're beyond the con mom and con dad. They're just kind of like that avatar of what that convention is about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it becomes something that you want to repeat. It becomes something that you want to experience again. That's the reason why certain conventions become favorite conventions when you're doing, you know, cons throughout the year. You know, everybody has that one convention that you make sure you always have to go to. And that's because that's going to be the place where you can maximize the number of people. You know, going to a lot of conventions in this state, you know, there are about 3 or 4 conventions. I remember there were about 3 or 4 conventions that I always had to go to because that would maximize then me being able to see everyone, you know. Now I've had to scale back. So.
Yep. And I
and
know
I've
one of those
always said-
favorite ones are.
Well, whenever I went to another con like Planet Comic Con, and I even went to Smallville, Wizard, and that one that's in Jeff City, I forget the name of it, Cosplicon. When I go there, the thing I would almost get sad if I didn't see people I knew. And that's why at CosplayCon, when I ran into Taryn, you know who I'm talking about, Taryn. Do you know David? Taryn, red hair?
Probably. I probably have.
I don't want to say their last name. But anyway, I got so excited because the only person I knew there at CosplayCon was Taryn, so I was like wanting to hang out with them all the time. Like, don't leave my table, stay with me. I don't know any of these fucking people.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. So I've been to conventions where like a lot of times in conventions you have to stand in line for long periods of time, right?
Right.
Depending on where you are, it could be a really long time. But one thing that I know that it's hard for some people to like turn around and start talking to the guy next to you in line, but it's so worth it. It really is worth it. I've had big group conversations start up just because someone started talking to everybody else, and before you know it, you guys are like friends. Never seen each other before, but you're friends. You go and get some drinks and maybe something to eat after you get through this line battle that you have to go through.
Right.
I mean, it works like that. That's what people are going there to do. Of course, there are not nice people, but most people are there for the same thing you are.
I tell you, because I was down at what is that one in Texas, in Houston? It's Comic Palooza, and I was in line, and there was this gentleman in a wheelchair in front of me, and we were just talking, and we were talking about Star Wars because we're in a line to get some merch. And when I was done talking to him, he told me that he played Chewbacca. His name was Peter Mayhew. I knew it was him, but we were talking Star Wars.
Yeah, for me, I mean, the first time I went to Dragon Con in Atlanta. Traveling to going to Georgia from Missouri. And I'm in line in the art show. And turns out that there was 3 people behind me that I knew. It was Scott New. And his wife. Our friend Scott New. And it's just like, wow, I gotta travel several states away just to see Scott New. That's great.
And you also, in some of these shows, Keith, and this is true, you will find some of the celebrities wandering around.
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
And
yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Sometimes
for real, because that's
line.
how I ran into Peter Mayhew the first time. Ran into Danny Trejo, who I thought was, because I saw him from the back with 2 other people with him. I thought it was parents with their kid because he was so short. I'm like, God damn, that's a muscular kid. And he turned around and went, oh shit, he looks like Machete. Oh, it is Machete. Okay.
That's how I ran into Judson Scott, who was the actor that played Khan's right-hand man in Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan. He was at the very first convention that I ever attended. And I found him to be just an amazing guy.
I've heard that from other people that have met him at cons. He's really nice.
Oh, geez. It was freaking cool running into him.
Yeah, and this is
Sandal Bergman.
Oh, fuck you.
Well, she's from Kansas City. That was my first convention ever. And she was a dancer. She's all legs, man. I mean, it was just like, oh my God.
I'll refrain from making any jokes because I just thought of one.
Yeah. I know what that's like because you'll walk around the convention, all of a sudden, Harlan Ellison walks up to you and starts talking to you. Or he's standing next to Neil Gaiman.
I'd be like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I was a sophomore in high school. And so it was just like watching and seeing this woman who I had seen in Conan the Barbarian the previous year, and it was just like, oh my God, there were things. Wow.
Did you have a movement, Keith? Did you have a movement?
I needed time to recover.
Cigarette?
Well, I was at DragCon one year, and I accidentally bumped into Timothy Zahn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I had accidentally bumped into him right when he was starting to sit at his table, and so I didn't have to I don't have to wait in line at all. I was there, right there, front of the line. It's the first time it ever happened, and it couldn't have happened at a better time. And he's such a nice person. You know, that's one of the things. You know, you always find these people that you like them a lot because of their work, but you never get the chance to meet them. And when you do, man, I tell you, 9 times out of 10, they're completely awesome people. They're just like you and me, you know.
Yeah.
They just happen to be very creative, and their stuff's gotten published, you know.
See, and Kansas City is just one of those places that was always conducive to running into a lot of science fiction authors, because for a long time that seemed to be one of those places where they would congregate, you know. I have found that more often than not, every experience that fortunately I have had, you know, knock on wood, has been a really positive experience with every celebrity I've ever, you know, encountered. Yep. There are people that are even way nicer than I would have ever thought they would have been.
Yeah,
you know,
and I found that some of the smaller cons where it's quieter, you can really get to chat to some people and get to know them quite well.
Yes,
you know, celebrities, and there's some really nice. What we all rightly talk a lot about the arrogance of certain celebrities and the horrible things they do or say, but there's plenty good ones too that are just humans, as you say, and they are happy to chat and hang out, and
And hey, I wanted to point out that Shanatsky is here. Hello, Shanatsky. I'm keeping an eye on you.
He was going. I'm just letting him speak.
One of the most impressive memories that I always have for me for convention was to be personally invited to sit with David Gerald and Fred Pohl as they were talking, be part of that private conversation. I was just there and they go, come on over. And all of a sudden, you know, Frederick Pohl goes, hi, I'm Fred. And it's like,
nice.
It's like, you know, so obviously, I like to say, I wasn't part of the conversation. Those two talked. I just sat there agape listening to them. It was just the most amazing things.
I have found my connection and working with for so long, VisionCon has afforded me the opportunity to get a chance to know a lot of celebrities. Fortunately, quite a few members of the cast of Babylon 5 have been guests at VisionCon here in Missouri. And every one of them were just incredible people to meet and get to know and have fun with. But the one that really sticks out to me is Rod Roddenberry. Son of Gene Roddenberry, who was just incredible to hang out with. And I know I'm not supposed to say this, but he offered me a job.
He's kind of on a lot of people's shit list because of the current state of Star Trek.
How is that his fault? How is that his fault?
Yeah.
Well, he's an executive producer on it.
Well,
and so it's
just be a name only. I mean,
so
no influence.
It's like a lot of people are like, you could stop this, Gene.
No, he
probably
can't.
Doesn't have that power.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't.
But you know, all these things that Keith is saying is all aspects to Tremendicon that we are trying to make sure grow naturally. You know, we're planting the seeds for this. Our guests are going to be there for the weekend, and it's not like it's not like we're doing this over 5 city blocks like DragonCon, where someone could disappear if they wanted to stay away from the crowds.
I didn't look at the address. Where's it going to be?
It's at the Oasis Convention Center.
Oh, I love the Oasis. That's right. You said that before.
Yes. So our hotel block has been released to the public. So, but there are 13 hotels in that area. So what I'm saying is, if you need a room, you can find one. So again,
that's Hotel Row. It's right off the highway.
It is. Yeah. I feel like we have one of the nicest spaces in town, and the Oasis people have been very accommodating. It's going to be a nice show, and there's a lot to do there, and there's a lot that you can get out of it. And I just encourage everybody who's watching this to please consider coming to the convention. If you have to wait till the last minute and pay at the door, okay, that's fine. We'd love to have you. But if you can support us early on, that will be helpful too.
Amen.
We are a first-year convention, and starting up a first-year convention is very difficult.
You're pulling it off, man. Good job so far.
We're making it happen. It's going to happen. But we just want you to come out and help us support it. You know?
And
while
to
we're
be honest,
doing
what
this,
you're charging.
I want to show something real quick. This is important. This is David.
Yeah, there it is.
With my artwork on his chest.
Nice.
Actually, that shirt says Scrooche because that was the PG rated version.
Yeah.
And then there's this one.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite the favorite picture.
Look
I
at
love
that.
this picture.
We lost David this year. Fought one in the green shirt.
Yeah.
And who's that? My God, I was 600 pounds in this photo.
Wow.
Sexy as hell.
Hey, that's the other Gary next to you.
Very
Shit!
cuddly, though.
I'm so fat. I almost blocked out the black guy.
This was that game expo.
Yeah, game
in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think the second or third year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun too. That was one of my other favorite conventions to go to is game.
Mm-hmm. Last year for them this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yep.
I've not heard
They're
this.
not-
What is going on?
Yeah. They're throwing in the towel on it.
Towel. Yeah.
Yep.
That's sad.
They're done.
Damn
And
it.
I just wanted to say the
destroyed
price
so
that
many
you're charging
times.
for even it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say even the price that you're charging the door. I mean, it is so reasonable considering how much conventions cost to get to some of these. It's
Oh, yeah, I
ridiculous.
know.
Even the one at the door is like, oh, it's $10 more. It's still very affordable. So
Well, and you have to
$60
remember
for the
everything's
whole
going to charity.
weekend. $35 for a 1 day pass.
So, Gary,
that's
did you have to pay
exhausting.
for 3 people when you got into that one? Or
Yeah. Your fat jokes are funny as fuck. Fuck you, Seven. I was eating for 3 people, I'll tell you that. You know
How
what's
long
really
have
funny?
you
you're very
been fat
cuddly.
working?
You're very cuddly. That was lovely.
Because Keith and David know Shane Moore. He's a very good friend of mine, author, very popular in the con circuit. He posted a picture of himself when he had lost 25 pounds, pulling his shirt up, showing his abs and flexing his bicep. And I remember writing underneath the photo, responding to his post. I said, I've lost an entire human being and I'm still fat. Suck my dick if you can find it. Love you, Shane Moore. Love you.
I hate to say this, Gary, but that picture of you kind of reminded me of a lesbian I knew.
Look, man, I've already made that joke. You don't get to own that joke. I tell people
I'm not
all the time,
owning that joke.
when
I'm being
I've got
serious.
short hair, I look like a fucking angry lesbian.
Do you
Even
eat
with the
carpet
beard.
like one?
I look like one, really?
Strangely attractive, though.
I said he's sexy as hell.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to see if anybody's had any questions.
Unfortunately,
in
Gary, I got to drop out. Sorry to interrupt, David, but yeah, I got to
Scottish
go to work.
shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, work is beckoning me with its cold, dead hands. I have to go to work. So,
Well, I'm glad
Understand.
you're here, and I'm glad you got to meet David.
yeah, well, thanks,
Yeah,
everybody in the
good to meet
panel.
you.
Thanks, guys, and David. Great to meet you. Good luck, and as I say, get in touch with me. And I have modest means, but I would like to help, even though I can't go. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
no problem. And
All right.
yeah, you all have a great day, guys. And
I'll see you
care.
Monday.
See
See
ya.
ya.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing 2 shows with him next week. I'm going to be on his show, which is a prog rock show. We talk about classic prog rock. And then on Tuesday, we do Toxic Tuesday, where we watch movies with men acting like men. And this week is Rocky 3.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good
So
one.
it's a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoy it. So
Gap
sadly,
Stargate.
what
Sorry,
did Stargate say? Oh, yeah. That was the one I wanted to read. Urban NerdCon will become the premier urban and multicultural comic gaming cosplay, providing creators of African descent across the diaspora. I've never seen
Yes.
diaspora. What is that word?
Diaspora.
Diaspora.
I don't know what that word is. An opportunity. Yeah, I know. Me not knowing a word, that threw me. An opportunity to showcase and sell their work. Well, glad you shared, man. Especially
is
on a
this?
show where we're promoting another con. But that's nice. I'm not saying you're a dick, Gap, but
The
Thanks for sharing that,
definition
dude. Seriously,
for
thanks
is
for sharing
Jewish
it.
people
We are
living
all about
outside
supporting.
Israel.
What the fuck did you say, Shinatsky?
Yeah, that word, according to the dictionary definition, Jewish people or the dispersion of any people from the original homeland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds like an elitist word to me.
The more you know. Da, 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 da.
Oh man,
Just
you're gonna make me
learned.
do that. Oh,
Yes, yeah, I am.
All right, Baron, here it comes. If Keith
You've
is
just
going to
been
get
learned.
started, if you get started again, here's your video.
Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
Why is she dressed like Prince?
I don't know. That was some weird. That was a weird character that lasted a few sketches. Don't get me started, because she was making fun of that person that does that very deadpan instead of like, don't get me started. But it's like, don't get me started. It's funny.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh yeah.
The straighter version of Prince, basically. Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
The favorite one I've done is this one where it's like, hey, we get some new viewers today.
Whoa. Hey, so I saw something pop up. Das Wolf just said something. Could you pull that back up? Turns out,
yeah, that's John.
Okay, so I want you to know something. We have a room block at the Holiday Inn, just 2 hotels over. So call there; you'll get a discounted rate there.
There you go, John. There you go. If you need to contact David privately, even if he doesn't want your attention, do it anyway.
I still like it, even if it's negative, you know.
But we need to. We have gone into. We finished the first hour. That was your interview, David. Did you enjoy it?
I did. It's lovely talking to you as always.
Yeah, we always have fun.
We do.
You really are one of my favorite fucking human beings. You really are. I say it every time I see you, man, but I fucking mean it. You are just awesome. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. There goes the neighborhood. Ladies and gentlemen, Fat Steven Seagal is here. How you doing, buddy? What's up?
How you liking that Obi-Wan?
Turn your microphone on.
I'm sorry. I was trying to clean your crappy, pasty skin language out of my ears. This public service announcement was brought to you by Gary. He likes to draw, just not in the lines.
And I tell people I actually don't like drawing. It's what I do for a living. I like playing piano.
Whose daughter loves to draw penises.
You know what? I
mean, here I was watching Matt playing his games while doing the show. Now he's here.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
would you like me to go
I
back?
apologize.
To
I did.
Yeah.
I drew a penis in the graphic novel with Tim Kenyon. He wrote a scene where the character is naked on a gurney in a back of an ambulance. And I'm like, well, normally as a paramedic, we would have covered them. He goes, no, but I think that it's important. I'm like, so you want me to draw his junk? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, you're a weird dude, man. And I went, okay. So it's in the graphic novel, one panel. So it's my one time ever in my life drawing a wiener.
If you like Obi-Wan, good for you. Maybe the 4 episodes will change around, but Disney has never started off strong at all lately. And honestly, after finishing Chapter 7 of the Part 1 of Stranger Things, no wonder they dropped at midnight and not 3 a.m. Yeah, if you haven't seen Stranger, it was great. It was good.
Man, dude, I'm already on episode 5 and I stopped. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Anybody seen it other than Steven and I?
Not yet.
I've been concentrating on Obi-Wan, and I sat and watched it.
I've been concentrating on Tremendicon.
Hi, David. Nice to meet you. I don't think we've met before.
Yeah, Fat Steven Seagal. This is David Stanfield. David Stanfield. Fat
Good to meet you.
Seagal.
You'll say that now, but I'll take. Is that a Spider-Man poster behind you, or is that Evil Dead? I'll take all of those posters behind you.
Yeah, I think somebody asked previously in the chat, but
I got a deal for you.
This is an Arthur Sidem zombie conversion of the wedding of MJ and Peter Parker.
I got a deal for you. If you give me at least that one, I will give you the brand new Gary Costanza.
All right, so you can see the detail in this amazing artwork. Here you go, David.
Oh,
It's the summer of Gary.
Gary.
That might be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
It's called Serenity Now.
I want the calendar back there, the classic
Later.
D&D series calendar you have back there.
Oh yeah. That was those were really hard to come by. I ordered one and it took 2 months to get to me.
Wow.
Okay, how about anything from my collection as soon as I get my camera up just to piss off Gary? It's nice to meet you. I like your beard. I'm actually jealous by all the glorious beards that I cannot grow.
Thank you.
I hate what Wizards of the Coast.
It's called puberty.
And when do you get it?
Oh no! Oh.
Why did you set him up with such a great straight line?
I have my own little wall.
Oh, that's nice. That is very nice, sir.
I see a Baroness. I approve.
She's signed by the original voice actress.
Awesome. Yeah, this part of my wall is pretty minimal. We're in the process of moving, so most of my stuff's down. But my George Romero collection is like right over there. And
that's cool. I don't know if you're a game player at all. Did you ever see what they did for I think it was Black Ops 2, where Romero actually did the map and was the enemy, and every time you hit him, it pissed him off. Yeah, that was great.
Yep, I played that. That's the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Danny Trejo.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a copy of Martin?
You could actually build one of the secret weapons, and it would turn the zombies into humans, and they would scream running away in terror. It was the funniest thing ever.
That's awesome.
That's cool though. Like that Mary Jane thing. Yeah. We don't get that stuff. I'm sorry, Mary. If anyone remembers Fox Kids, when it came to Mary Jane being introduced, she was one of the hottest cartoon redheads you've ever met in your life. Because not only was she supportive of Peter, she was also able to throw a good punch, especially with Hydra Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then they never.
Hello, PJO.
I'll stop
is
talking.
PJO here?
Yeah.
That means Dork Knight might not be too far behind.
Wow,
but he's right now. He does Salty Nerd same time as our show, so he's probably over there. But hi, PJO. That is Dork Knight's mom. He's a regular on our show.
It's important that he's regular.
That's
a lot of fiber.
That's the wonderful thing about coffee, because coffee's a wonderful thing.
True.
Oh,
especially when you take it like an animal, like Gary does.
The Animated Spider-Man, though, had kind of a terrible ending. It's like, I need to find Mary Jane. Wait, I'm fiction. I better hang out with Stan Lee. What about your wife?
All right. We already know about the Madam Web and Peter Parker not giving us a solidified ending. That still bothers me to this day. I just don't focus at it. But we also got things like those Spider Hunter robots, Alistair being turned into a cyborg and then turning good. We've had the Punisher. We've had the Kraven, the Hunter. We've had Man Spider, doppelgangers, Hydro clones. Ben Reilly that they never went into. We had the multiverse of Spider-Verse. We already had all of that done. So I can forgive it for what we got with. We even had Blade.
They had Daredevil. I know.
He was also Peter's lawyer. We also had the Chameleon. You know, that's one thing Marvel and Disney has never touched is the Chameleon, which pretty much they could have had him impersonate any villain or hero.
Maybe he's been there the whole time.
That's been my argument. With the MCU is that there is a track of characters that they could have put out there that didn't require them to spend $200-400 million on a movie, where you could have just spent $50, $60, $70 million just doing the normal street heroes of the Marvel universe and created something really kind of cool. And that's what has made me upset about the Black Widow movie and the Hawkeye miniseries is that you've done these stories that are more about the characters that are meant to replace them than about the actual characters themselves.
Yep.
Right.
Just so that you could push them off, say goodbye, sunset the characters, bring in new characters, and you realize that for the most part, with the exception of Thor, Tony, and Steve, pretty much the rest of the MCU characters that came in for Phase 1, you just told them to off.
Right.
Is really
Yeah.
what you've done.
Yeah, and we need to bring this up since you guys were going to go into Obi-Wan, and this is a throwdown that I found online. Just reposted the picture. But ladies and gentlemen, on the right we have the Force Awakens opening scenes, and on the left the Obi-Wan opening.
Yeah, I caught that.
I kind of caught that.
Yep.
It's like
I kind of caught a lot of the similarities, and it's KK all over again.
Yeah,
And this is all. What I think is, if you remember, what the problem was with Obi-Wan was they had all these scripts written, and then they had to go back and rewrite a lot of them. I think Episode 2 was really one of the ones from the original scripts that were originally written, and that Episode 1 is kind of like a rewritten script because it's very, very reminiscent of The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm. Now, which one of these figures would you like to own? We have very bad common black villain. We have cross-eyed black villainess, and then we have she all has the same hair, right? You notice how the mohawk all looks the same? These are all three different toy companies. These are all three different toy companies.
And guess what? All three will not sell.
Let me tell you something. Let me just bring this up because this is gonna piss a lot of people off, but and that's not gonna stop me. But given the runtime of Black Panther, in the time that it took for the 2 episodes that they put out there on Obi-Wan, you understood what the villain of Black Panther wanted to do.
Yeah, it was Disney.
You understood the motivation. You understood how intelligent they were, how good what they was, and everything, all within the runtime of that movie, which is the same amount of time for 2 episodes of Obi-Wan, and you understand next to nothing about this character. Just saying.
Meanwhile, if you play Jedi Fallen Order, Second Sister, 15 minutes of fucking cutscenes. You know everything you need to know about Trilla.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
We're
by
at
the way, they fucking ripped Second Sister off. It's like the shittier versions. We have the Second Sister at home. It's the Disney Star Wars Third Sister.
Mm-hmm.
Awful wish.
We're at a point now, and I'm not like this is the biggest thing is we can't even have harsh criticism or any type of criticism with Disney, even within our own pop culture community, because everyone's so. Can I swear?
Yeah.
So goddamn fucking defensive that you think it's some kind of kindergarten class where you have to care about your fifis because of an opposite opinion. Honestly, we're seeing the 6-episode mentality has to stop. I'm tired of a 6-episode funeral. They've killed Luke. They've killed Leia. They've killed now Obi-Wan. They're going to kill Darth. They have killed Boba. They have killed everything. Not some literally have killed them. The lack of respect to legacy, and we can see this in Boba Fett gave a prime example. Episode 5 in Boba Fett gave a well-tuned, crafted Mandalorian episode that was cared about that we didn't see in the other 5 episodes of Boba Fett and the Vespas of the universe. We saw nothing. And now we're seeing it again with Obi-Wan. And unless those 4 episodes change my mind, I am tired of having a wake every week when an episode drops. I'm tired of it because it's not a wake. The wake's supposed to be celebrating.
Well,
past.
Star Wars said it. They warned us that with the characters line, killing the past. So that's what Kathleen Kennedy and the Star Wars writers group has been doing.
Yeah,
is killing old characters. Mando is a new character, so they won't kill him. But they had to kill Boba Fett.
They will in season 3, though. If you saw that trailer with Gary, I think they're going to kill him in season 3 or past.
Well, they already killed him by putting out a shitty substandard fucking show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
John Favreau was punished with it.
I have a little bit of a theory about the Mandalorian. They can kill that character off; it doesn't matter, and that's why the reason why I feel that way is because the show isn't actually about him. It just has been about him so far. It's actually about the Mandalorian people. in my opinion. I think that's where it's going. I think a lot of people think that too at this point. But yeah, I mean, honestly,
structurally, that's a bad idea.
But
it's a bad way to do it.
Yeah, it is a very bad idea. Because the whole idea is to build an audience and fan base, and you kill off the main character that everybody loves. You fuck yourself.
Yeah, this isn't Game of Thrones. This is Star Wars.
Well, one of the other problems is
David.
And I lay a little bit of fault on Filoni and Favreau, is they're trying to mix in EU. I will refuse to call it Legends. EU, bring it into the Disneyverse, but they're two incompatible things right now. The KK universe that we've been given is incompatible to what was built over the 30, almost 40 years of Star Wars lore. And how can you start mixing in? When you start doing it, you start ruining the characters get watered down, and then become disposable. It's like, all we are member berries. Let's just bring you in for hey, look what we did. We brought this in to make you all happy, and let's get rid of you. And that's the problem with a lot of these shows. They're incompatible. They're trying to put them together.
You see, that's the problem. It's what Kathleen Kennedy keeps, or KKK for short.
Well, so I started watching Star Trek Picard.
Even I don't go there.
Why?
Well, I started watching Star Trek Picard season 2.
I'm sorry.
There were some things that I liked about season 1, so I thought maybe it'll be good enough I can at least watch it. I stopped watching it halfway through because they were very reliant on the member berries, and yet still screwing up established canon left and right. And I just was like, I don't really understand what's going on anymore, and I shouldn't. This is Star Trek. These stories aren't supposed to be so complicated that I can't understand them.
Now, David, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How pissed off were you when Q slapped Picard?
He stopped watching, didn't you?
I stopped watching.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the minute the Q showed up and didn't realize that he was Android Picard, not the original, I was like, this is fucked up. That's something he would have instantly recognized. You're not.
Kind of like number 1 in Strange New Worlds, and nobody knowing that she was not everything that she said she was. I mean, sorry, logic. Sorry.
Well, so would it not have been better for Q when he shows up and he's the young Q, right? And he says, and now he's old, and he's like, now we're the same, or now that's better, or whatever. What if it would have been a much more Q thing to do for him to turn himself into an old android like Data and look right at Picard and make fun of him that way? That would have been a Q thing.
Yeah.
Again, it's just missed dunks. They're just missing the dunks. The baskets aren't going in.
Yeah.
It's schizophrenic creativity. It's in essence that one hand, they're like, hey, remember this thing that you really loved? And the other is, that thing's sexist, homophobic, whatever. We're replacing it. We're making it better. But remember that thing you loved? Remember that thing you loved? That homophobic.
Yeah, we're getting ready to shit all over it.
Thing?
No. But you're right. Disney did that as well. Let's look at the first episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. They put, hey, remember the Revenge of the Sith? Remember all this great scenes? You're not getting that. You're not getting that. You're not getting that.
We're gonna use stuff that you recognize, which is the member berries thing, and you'll see things. So if you're looking at it without listening or paying attention, it looks like Star Wars, but then you start paying attention to what's going on. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I just, it's the writing. The writing is just it's turning me away from the stuff. I don't care. I don't care what you write about. Just make it interesting and keep it thematically
engaging. There you go.
If it's Star Trek, make it Star Trek. If it's Star Wars, make it Star Wars.
What do I always say, Keith?
Tell me whatever stories you want. Just make it saying.
I always say what you're saying. You're echoing everything I say, which is, I don't care if you're a little woke. I really don't. Just tell me a good story.
No,
give me interesting characters, interesting stories. You don't always have to have a plot. A story can live without a plot.
Yeah.
A plot is just a device. People think that it's important, like J.J. Abrams, who will sometimes put in 15 fucking plots in one fucking film.
Are you talking about Lost?
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
It's like every other scene was a fucking plot twist. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, stop it, dude. You're killing me.
But even
which
this
is the reason why he's
Obi-Wan show-
really sucking now at DC.
This Obi-Wan show is a bait and switch, and as someone who does filmmaking stuff, I write scripts.
Well, that's
I film
Disney.
stuff.
Disney is absolutely the studio of the bait and switch. We're going to show you this thing, but in reality, that little thing we're hinting at over here is the main thing. It looks like it's in the background, but it's the main thing.
And it does it because after that summary they do, the first shot, the first character you see is young Reva. It doesn't expressly state, but you state here. And that's the setup because they're actually building up her arc. They're just her, and then they switch to Obi-Wan. And then I guarantee you by the end of it, you're going to get the Reva show. Like you got the, like Hawkeye was not the Hawkeye show. It was,
yes.
Yeah, it's like
it's the Kate show, Kate Bishop show.
We deserved a backstory for Hawkeye, his true backstory.
Yes.
We got nothing.
Hawkeye's backstory would have been the way to begin that entire thing.
He was a side character in his own fucking
show.
in
his own show.
I was disappointed. Actually, pretty much everything from Marvel on Disney Plus was very disappointing. Moon Knight actually is the first time I damn near lost control. I got so angry. I was raging about the stupidity of that fucking show. The ending pissed me off so fucking much. And I was telling Keith, I kept telling Keith, wait a minute, maybe they're doing something here. Let's give him a chance. Let's give him. Then I
and I was the mad one, and you were trying to calm me down. I was just like, what is this?
I was wrong. Keith was right.
And they took Kingpin.
What?
They took Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, one of the scariest, most intelligent villains in any of this related media, and they made him into a fucking joke who gets shot with an arrow and then hit by a car.
Arrows.
Well, there you go.
Well, you had to do the whole spin-off thing for the Echo series coming up.
But one punch from Kingpin would have broken her ribs.
That's right, but she's getting her own spin-off, so we can't do that.
I thought that was I thought that was canceled. No, I thought that was canceled, Keith. They're not going through with that second season, focusing on her.
You know why Kingpin? No. He didn't have a car door on hand.
Oh, we have a new person in the chat. Hold on. Bill Barkley is here. Welcome to the show, Bill. The only version of the prequels that I'll watch are the anti-cheese or de-cheesed edits. Look, man, I got to tell you something. I've lost friends over every single time I criticize something in Star Wars. Keith and I lost a mutual friend for the same reason. I mean, he absolutely fucking did a drive-by shit on and was wrong, and we made fun of how wrong he was in his comment, but he wasn't there because he blocked us afterward. Springfield guy, Missouri. I showed a picture of him last night on our show because he just popped up and I went, hey, there's that guy that hates us. But the fact is, look, the prequels were chock full of fucking weird shit because George Lucas didn't have anybody saying no to him anymore.
Right.
He was surrounded by nothing but yes men. That fucking big-headed buffoon. What's that cocksucker's name? God, I can't stand it when he talks.
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, George. We need more fucking Jar Jar Binks. Yeah. Walking through the studio, and there's this wall of storyboards, and it's Jar Jar Binks scene, and he goes, there. George Lucas says this. That's the main character. This is his story. And I went, you have lost your fucking creativity. You're a great marketing genius, great story idea guy, but you have lost it by not hiring other writers to fix his clunky dialogue for the prequel trilogy. That fucked it up. And anybody who thought that scene with Yoda was going to be a great scene, I'm like, CG is not there yet.
Well, I will say
Rick McCallum. Rick McCallum.
There we go. Yeah.
In the
I
third
hope
movie,
he gets his dick stuck in a zipper. I hate that guy.
Wow.
In the third movie, George Lucas, I think, tried to say to the fans, I'm sorry, at least a little bit. Because if
I
you
felt that way too.
Because Jar Jar Binks is the whole reason why the Emperor was able to take over power in the first place.
Yep.
It was him that put the motion to the fore. And because he's an idiot, nobody sensed malice in him. He got away with it. And, I mean, in the books, there's been books that have been written, and there's basically Jar Jar Binks died an idiot by a fountain somewhere on Naboo.
Well, it's like
I don't think George likes him.
They
I
made
don't
him
think
too
George likes
comical.
him either.
well, and that's the reason why Macy from Jurassic, World has to go. She's a character.
Oh my God, what a terrible character!
Evil.
She's evil.
She's evil. She has to go.
To treat her like an innocent. I'm serious. Someone needs to do a fan edit that has Chris Pratt spin and fucking shoot her at the end of that for doing what she did, because she has just killed thousands, maybe more people.
By the way,
Just
and-
caused
and
their
it-
deaths.
By the
Yeah,
way, you know
and
how you
not
make
to
Revenge of the Sith better? Simple. After Anakin turns to the dark side, as he's heading towards the Jedi Temple, Jar Jar goes and is like, "Oh, hey, Andy!" Zoom, boom, head goes flying off. Automatically make that movie even better.
Worst fucking nickname of a hero ever, Annie.
Annie. That's
Every
Wizard.
single person, because I did it in the theater. I did a line from Tomorrow. Tomorrow. You know. People near me were like, I got that.
Yeah, but everybody was thinking it.
Yeah. It's like, just George.
Annie?
George needs no people around him. And of course, sadly, the best Star Wars film ever made was, of course, Empire Strikes Back. And it's the one film he didn't noodle with, because Irvin Kershner got that agreement from him that it was his film. He was in charge. And George, to get him, had to take his hands off of it. And that's what is the best fucking film. And I love
yet he
George
was also,
Lucas.
and he was very respectful to the universe, even though it was his film. He kept it within the confines of what George Lucas built up, unlike Jar Jar Abrams did and all the others, where it's like, let's just. Blah,
Did you expect this, David? Did you expect this kind of shit?
What do you think we talk about when we get together and like?
I know
our
we're at the
personal
table. We're complaining.
Of course, I did.
Well,
hey, I want to welcome Tree Rock Creations is here. Good morning. Good to see you. I always say chat. They're good people.
I think the thing about keeping everything respectful, keeping everything within the universe, also part of that was having some of the people that were people like Gary Kurtz, who wouldn't let Irving Kershner stray outside. The thing about what Star Wars needs is Gary Kurtz.
Gary Kurtz.
They need Gary Kurtz.
The thing that held everything together. And Marcia Lucas, or Marsha Lucas, is the one who oversaw the editing of the original trilogy, which is why all three of those films are really the best, even though I consider Return of the Jedi the weakest of the three, because that's where Lucas started having less no's said to him, and where the commercial side of things took over, where he focused on the commercial aspect and changed it from being on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees to a new planet called Endor with creatures called Ewoks, which, he says these words, and Phil Tippett was just making fun of him over this. If you saw it over the Star Wars holiday, Phil Tippett was interviewed and he was talking about how he just walk up and just make up shit. Like he says, well, this is the calamari guy. Oh, the Mon Calamari. Yeah, that's definitely Admiral Akbar. Never had that word everywhere written anywhere. It just on the spot he came up with those names. And Tippett made fun. He says, comes up with these goofy names, but people love it. He says, because he said this is exact words. He said, that is our calamari man. He says, George Lucas goes, oh, the Mon Calamari. He just reversed it. Instead of saying man, he said Mon. I'm like, geez, man, George Lucas, dude.
Yeah, but you know what? It's his universe, and you can do that.
I love
universe.
That shit about
it. But Kathleen Kennedy, she has no creative bone in her entire body.
She's very creative when making coffee. I've read it.
The fifth names: Darth Vader, Invader, drop the in. Darth Sidious, Insidious, drop the in. Even Darth Revan, reverse the A and the E in position, Revan.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, no, change the A to an E.
Well, I love the name Darth to begin with, clearly coming from the word dark.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, because there's where his genius lies. Where his creativity really fucking shines is in the character creations. He's a great idea guy, hands it to other people to design. He comes up with these great freaking ideas,
Well, if you look at Star Wars and Star Trek, it isn't just one person coming up with everything. With George Lucas, he needed Gary Kurtz. Gary Kurtz was the one that helped to keep him kind of within the lines. He said no to him. And in the same way, when you look at Gene Roddenberry, you had Gene L. Kuhn and Dorothy Fontana that helped to keep Gene Roddenberry focused.
Yep.
Okay? You need a team. That's what you need. It isn't just one person making everything up willy-nilly, because it's not something that's that easy unless we're talking about just being a writer. Okay?
Also,
and even then,
the actual way Star Wars is edited is genius. Even the transitions, because you know what those like wipes do? They save time because you can have one scene bleeding to another, which means that's saving several seconds off the split, and you're staying close to right in the action, so the emotional beats are continuing on instead of having a sudden stop and suddenly having to build things again.
It's a book. This Star Wars is something that could have only come along from someone that had literary inspiration. Okay? And it's all meant to be a book. And a lot of people in Hollywood nowadays, as we've learned from various friends that Gary and I have in the business, the thing about a lot of the executives is they don't read anymore. These people do not read books. It is beyond them now. Many of them are in the business. They don't even really read scripts anymore.
Well, Lucas took a lot of inspiration and straight up copied classics.
Yes.
Akira Kurosawa. I mean, Akira Kurosawa movies still hold up today.
And I think that, to pay back for that, he and Spielberg produced the American release for one of his last films, Kurosawa's. The Kagamusha, I think was the name of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, and even like Chinatsky was saying, those classic wipes, those are basically gone. Those were from old serials and old movies.
Yes.
And they were brought back, revived, and that's basically a classic thing that's in Star Wars, which you never saw in the Disney fan fiction at all. They forgot even that element in there.
Well, you have Edgar. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and I was going to sit back and say, one of the things that made Return of the Jedi suffer as being the weakest of the original trilogy was that because Kurtz did leave. He couldn't control Lucas no more. It was like, okay, I'm out of here. You're too busy with Ewoks instead of doing storytelling. And imagine if Kurtz was still with Return of the Jedi, what that ending would have been.
Ooh, jeez.
Or there's other things that they do in it. Like, for example, one of my favorites is in Empire Strikes Back. Before Luke's hand gets cut off, Vader slices through those 3 metal bars, which are very much like the structures of a bone. So it preps you for what happens because you don't actually see, a detailed cut, but you get the impression of it prior to it. These are all filmic tricks that most people don't even realize that are parts of these movies. That show love and care was done into selling and conveying information to the audience that is not in these new movies.
Yeah, well, it's just because people are spending way too much time mimicking and not understanding why things work the way they do. It's easy to sit there and watch movies. Anybody can do that. But when it comes time to actually be creative and to, even if it is your own quote-unquote original idea, you don't know why things were done the way that they were, then it's all empty. It's all soulless.
Right.
You know, you're mimicking other people's ideas and maybe using your characters in place of the characters that you know from whatever X scene you're taking out of a book or a television series or a movie that you've seen. You know, that's part of the reason why a lot of this stuff isn't as good as it once was, because you now have people in positions creatively who all they're doing is the bidding of the executives above them, Alex Kurtzman, and not trying to be inventive, not trying to find a way of translating what the people above them want by remaining true to the story that you are trying to tell. That is the secret to doing it. If you really want to be good, you should know what you're doing and be able to listen to the people above you, but be able to give it to them in a way that doesn't hurt the story and the fans that you are trying to entertain. That's the difference.
Can I literally state a good example of exactly what you're talking about? George Romero. I love George Romero. He did Night of the Living Dead on almost no budget. Dawn of the Dead on almost no budget. Day of the Dead as well. Okay. So he does those 3 movies. And, you know, some people have their favorites, of course, Dawn of the Dead being usually most people's favorite. But they're all done low budget. And Romero labored over those scripts. Those movies, the ones that came out, weren't what they were supposed to be initially, because he learned that I can't really do this. This is not feasible. This doesn't make sense to the story. And he made 3 classic horror films that will live forever. And then Land of the Dead happens. He's given tons of money comparatively, and he's got a movie studio backing him, and it's a flop. It's because I don't think he was ever intended to make a movie with that kind of money, with that kind of influence, because with that money comes influence. And if you talk to Ryan Reynolds about Deadpool and Deadpool 2, what were they trying to do? Trying to make sure that the studio stayed out of the making of the movie, because the people that are in charge, yes, they have the payroll, and yes, they are making these movies happen, but they don't really have the same passion, the understanding for filmmaking process. They don't know what it means to make a movie that people love. They look at a movie that's going to sell. And that's why they use things like memberberries now. That's why they use, you know, here's a tribute to it, but it's not really a tribute. It's not really a mimic. It's almost in a way,
it's
mockery.
Fake reverence is really what it is.
It is.
That's it.
It's insincere. It's insincere.
And you know, if you didn't know this, David, Harrison Ford really did make a statement about Kathleen Kennedy and what she's actually good at. And I've got the video here. Hold on, guys. I'll play it for you.
Honey, that's great coffee.
Another setup and payoff that people don't even necessarily realize in Empire Strikes Back. What happens at the beginning? Luke gets his ass kicked, a limb gets chopped off, and Han saves him. What happens at the end? Luke gets his ass kicked, a limb gets chopped off, and Leia ends up saving him. And that's one of those things you don't realize that. You don't, unless you're really thinking about it and you're really paying attention. That's not something most people see.
Well,
but that scene at the beginning sets up the ending and you don't even realize it.
But there's a reason for that, a thematic reason, which is Luke really is meant to represent the character that everybody comes into. He is the hero, okay? And with the middle film of this story, you're learning something new that is going to turn everything upside down. Now, for many people watching these movies, no one expected The Empire Strikes Back to end on the kind of cliffhanger that it had. It's kind of a downer ending. I mean, they won, but there are consequences, okay? And so I think the reason why you have that happening to Luke as a theme with the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie is to also reinforce what also happens with Han. You've lost someone. You didn't win. The first movie, everybody won. It was a party. We can do anything. Well, now you're learning that this is a war. And there are consequences in war. You know, you cannot successfully tell this story without losses. in life. You will never make it through any kind of conflict without losing something or someone, whether it being your friend or your hand.
Well, you have Luke growing up. I mean, we saw him as
Yes.
that little punk kid. He's still, still brash and all that, but he's still growing, still learning. He's got the ultimate ass kicking at the end that brings us to one that we have in Return of the Jedi. And now let's make a comparison. Like you said, here you have that somber ending. Yeah, you're together. You won, but you've still lost at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Is someone shaving?
Yeah,
deleted
we've had
scenes
that
is
before.
coming.
Okay, but then compare that to The Last Jedi. They got their asses kicked. Basically, everybody who's alive is still on board the Millennium Falcon. They're sitting around having a kumbaya moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, that should have been one of the most somber, introspective scenes. But no, it's like, yeah, we're all happy on there. It's like, what the hell? Where did you come up with this idea? How are you trying to? I know you're trying to copy Empire Strikes Back, but that wasn't the ending of Empire Strikes Back.
And by the way, when it comes to Empire, I actually do prefer the second musical score that John Williams created for the celebration at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Is that the one they used in Special Edition?
Yeah. Even though I'm not a big fan of the Special Edition, I really did like that because I thought it should have been a more reverent, somber event celebrating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of lives lost.
Yep.
I mean, this is when you the thing about Lucas telling the story of how everything began. Okay, that is really, in a nutshell, really kind of sad because it was built up. I mean, you saw all of this happen because a group that you had entrusted power to protect you, okay, had lost their ability to be able to seek out the evil that they were trying to protect people from. And because of individual personal choices made by characters, not always with the interest of everyone else in mind, you had a war that started and continued and cost millions of lives over almost 20 years, if not more. With Return of the Jedi, it is kind of a missed opportunity to communicate that. With Han and Leia discovering their blooming relationship, with Luke, it isn't so much a celebration as just it's more of a
release.
Not of a release, but he has grown up. He has changed. The innocence that he had has now been tempered by the reality of life and understanding that not everything in life is easy. And no choice that you make is ever really just black and white. Learning from Obi-Wan that there was some creative storytelling done for his benefit in Return of the Jedi was an important moment. That leads to how Luke celebrates at the end of Return of the Jedi. Like I said, this is meant to be for the
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you can see it in Return of the Jedi a little bit of his anger at Obi-Wan because he always called him Ben. He always called him Ben, but now he calls him Obi-Wan.
Right.
He dropped.
Well, that's also the truth. To me, when you're watching a lot of the DC films, and you see how Zack Snyder has the relationship of Wonder Woman with, say, Superman. Everybody, when he does stuff, especially in Justice League, everybody will call him Clark. And Diana calls him Cal, because that's who he truly is. Diana deals in truth. Mm-hmm. That is a part of who her character is. And in truth, his name is actually Cal. While, the people close to him will call him Clark, Cal is who he actually is. That's the same thing with Luke. That entire scene at the end of Return of the Jedi, everybody else is excited, and they're having fun, and the fireworks. And Luke, who's now realized that while he has gained so much and in a sense has achieved some of the things that he used to daydream about. The reality, the cost of all that is understanding that now it cost him some of the things that he thought. He had to realize that some of the things that he thought he knew weren't true. Some of the people that he trusted weren't exactly telling him the truth. Not really so much evil people for an evil purpose, but there were reasons. And that adulthood is like that. Not everything is black and white. There are subtleties.
Stop making it about race, goddammit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, I want to address something. It's in the chat. Hold on. There's some stuff going on in the chat. It's yub-nub, not yup. And whatever the fuck Martin said, it's not that either. It is yub-nub. Yub-nub. It's a simple fucking word. Look it up in Wikipedia. Not Wikipedia, Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
It's got the information for you. It's also in Wikipedia because I posted it right there. The Ewok celebration, commonly known as Yub-Nub, that was what it was known as, is the 1983 in-theme song for the celebration, featured in Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Now, I tell people all the time, I fucking hated it. I hate the Ewoks. I hate the Ewoks because they should have been Wookiees, but he wanted to sell fucking toys. And the end of Return of the Jedi should have been somber, and I'm glad that they used John Williams' alternate score for the updated version because it's a better, more somber song, and it fits the mood. Yes, it's a celebration, but it's a somber celebration. Not like this. Although, I'm telling you, man, Ewoks ate those fucking stormtroopers.
Yeah, they did.
But
that's what they were cooking.
Going to it though, Luke, one of the things I like
Lando
about Luke,
eating some of that rib, stormtrooper rib, man.
It's one of those things that
My
gets
name's Lando
communicated.
Calrissian, and I support 445.
It's one of those things that gets communicated in movies like this that people could easily lose. Again, as I was saying, one of the things that you have to realize about a character like Hawkeye that makes him interesting is that what was his job in S.H.I.E.L.D.? He was not a regular agent, even though in the comics, Clint Barton is actually an agent. But with the MCU, he's different. His job was as an assassin. He was to kill people. That was his job. The first time you see him in any MCU film,
that's the job to do. I heard the song.
He's there to kill Thor.
That's a Genesis joke for anybody who likes prog rock. Fuck you.
and that is the thing that has to be understood about him becoming Ronin. He became who he always really deep down was. That darker version of him is who he was trained to be, which is to kill people. That the first time he meets Nat, his job was to kill her, not to convert her.
Yeah.
Well,
we got to wrap up here, buddy. I hate stopping you because you're on a roll, and we know when you're on a roll, sometimes it can go on for a while.
Don't get me started.
You know.
The more I see that clip, the more I realize, you know what? Sometimes the best girl is the guy, and that guy.
Thank you.
And with that,
well, about time for me to be hitting the old dusty trail.
That's me at growing up in Fredericksburg. Only white guy in the black community.
We still love you.
Well, I told you I got a hold of Vic, by the way, and he wants to come on the show. So I'm finally going to get to introduce you to one of my childhood best friends. He's the one who said, "Yo, man, yeah, Gary, he gets a pass from the black community all the time. He was one of us." And but anyway, again, I want to thank everybody for being here. This has been a great show. Really good discussions today. This was a lot of fun, man. I'm glad I could set people straight. It's Yub-Nub. Jesus Christ, it's simple Ewok. You know,
Gary is
I'm
fluent
shocked
Ewok.
that the guy speaks fluent Spanish. Fucked it up so badly.
I don't know how that relates.
There he is.
But
There's Martin. Martina Costa Santana.
I told you my name.
Jose Jimenez.
Jose Jimenez. Baseball been very, very good to me. I'm gonna get
Gary is also Gary is known as the Phantom Sex Appeal.
Very phantom. Very phantom.
Gary the Gay Blade.
Gary. Now, David, you don't know this.
There we go. We got it now. There's a good one for you.
I just spit on my
He's
monitor.
saying Gary. He's saying Gary for a reason because Mr. Tickle Trunk is the first one that caught it and started going with it. That my sister, a New York Jew, doesn't call me Gary. She calls me Geary. Now, Gary, don't forget to give me a phone call. That's my sister, Luann. And so that's why people go from Gary to Gary. And Gary the Gay, what did you say? Gary the Gay what?
Blade.
Yes. Oh my God, Shinatsky, fuck you so much.
I love you too.
I've got a pocket full of go fuck yourself.
We
you want
forgot
it?
something.
I can check the other pocket. Might be a surprise, like choke on a bag of dicks. I don't know.
We forgot something important.
No, I don't want any used condoms, thank you.
Well, he already has them in his back pocket. We forgot an important thing. A special shout out to Space Raiden, also known as that weird Chinese guy playing the Chinese stereotype in Obi-Wan. Thank you, Space Raiden. I hope we get back to Mortal Kombat soon.
Yeah, Lucasfilm creating characters.
We're not racist. We just play it on TV.
They're creating characters that belong in this meme. There you go. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Martine, for giving me the list. I want to thank Awesome One, Bill Barkley, Brandon the Anime Guy, Brett Cohen, Das Wolfen, Gap Stargate, Keely Chow, King's Portical, Liam Lionheart, Monkey Jeebus. I'm always grateful when Monkey Jeebus and War Monkey pop in. Old man, thanks for joining the show. I hope you become a regular, man, at least on Saturdays, because Baron's going to be here. I can't guarantee he's going to talk, but he'll be on here because I saw him complaining that he came to watch you and you weren't talking. Pacific 414, Parrothead, always fun to have you here, man. Pat S., our producer, love you, man. PJO, love you too. That is Dork Knight's mom. Pops is here. Look at you, man. You're always showing up late. Just like my dad and just like Keith. Keith, the man known for being late to his own funeral. In the future, I went there. He is. He really did make it. Six, thanks for showing up. It's always good to see you in the chat. Rough Girl, friended you on Facebook. Awesome to see you. Punk Waddle, good to see you, buddy. That 70s rock fan. Look, man, everybody needs one Scottish friend. I've got one now. So, actually, I have two. I have my business partner. I've got two Scottish friends.
Gary, 42 minutes ago, PayPal froze Eric July's business account.
What? Why? Can I get? Hold on. Let me get through this. I want to thank the chat, and I don't want to get lost. The Peter Vickman fan site. I didn't see you, buddy. I missed you. Glad you're here, though. Tree Rock Creations, War Monkey. What's my favorite kind of monkey? War Monkey. My second favorite monkey? Monkey Jeebus.
No, Jesus.
Yeah, Jeebus. Oh, Jeebus. Hold on. Zach Fiffin. I think that was actually a troll. And of course, our good friend Zax, who is a troll.
Yeah.
He co-helped fucking Backdoor Gary, hashtag Backdoor Gary as a thing. And I want to say to you, Zax, man, I love you, brother, but fuck you. From the depths of my heart, go fuck yourself. I want to thank everybody on the panel. Great show today. Hey, Brett Cohen, you Australian son of a bitch. Everybody needs an Australian friend. And Brett Cohen is Australian for friend. Brett Cohen gave us a super sticker because I'm in StreamYard. They won't let me see. Can somebody tell me what that is?
No.
Fuck you very much, Gary.
Is that what it is? Fuck you very much.
Yeah, that's it. Because YouTube has a fuck you sticker. That's right, Gary. Congrats.
Well, for Brandon, you get. Oh, wait. Yeah. For this whole episode, I'm going to play this video for you, Brett. Brett, here you go.
Boy, that escalated quickly. two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
There you go. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Socks is here. You just got here, you son of a bitch. What is it with you fucking guys rolling in right when we're ending a show? What is it? Oh, it's Kitty Cat
It's a
waving?
corgi.
Oh, it's Corgi. My favorite fucking dog. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I know you're not a Corgi. What? Ah! Dog attack.
And that's the end of Gary.
So PayPal is pure woke-o-so. Yeah, we've known that. PayPal is fucking run by a corporation with woke people in it. They have not cleaned house yet. If AT&T buys them or Elon Musk, he'll wipe them out. He'll fire everybody. But until then, they're going to keep these fucking assholes that make their lives miserable and our lives miserable. Hashtag backdoor Gary. Look, Zax, hold on. Put that back up, motherfucker. I mean it, dude. Fuck you.
It's the Phantom backdoor Gary.
Yeah. Gary the Gay Blade. Favorite one of the day. Brett Cohen, again, thanks for the $3 super sticker. CJ Bat Punk. All you guys showing up at the last fucking minute. What the fuck? And thank you, Peter Vinkman. That's a great compliment. Look, we want to entertain you guys, and we want things to be fun, but at the same time, we want to talk about stuff we really care about. And today's show was brought to you by
The Letter.
Stranger Things 4. No, they didn't actually sponsor us, but God damn it, go watch that show.
The Orville.
There's minute amounts of fucking woke stuff in there. But I got to tell you, the way they tell the story, and this is, in my opinion, probably the best season since the first season. I think this is really going well. Interesting plots. When the plots come and you get that plot twist, the plot twists are interesting. Not thrown in there as a member berry, but actually as a fucking story. The member berry in this is the fact that it's in 1986, so you get a lot of cool 86 shit in there.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I fucking love this show. Millie Bobby Brown nailing it as 11 L. She's just doing great. All the kids, Wolf Hard, what a weird fucking name. Why would you name your kid that? Why didn't you legally change your name, Wolf Hard? Come on, really? Good job on his acting. He's the second most interesting character on the show. He is actually pushed. What's his name that plays the sheriff and played Hellboy? He's interesting, but he's no longer the central character I care about. I care about Elle and Wolfhard, whatever his name is. But super sticker from Dennis McCullough for $3. Thank you, sir. Deeply appreciate that, man. That will help us not this month with coffee, but it'll keep me, because I do a show, Dave, if you didn't know it, every morning, Monday through Friday, called Morning Coffee with Gary. And basically, it's just me telling stories and talking about shit. Sometimes guys will drop in, but I only do that twice a week because the whole idea of doing that is I'm trying to get unnervous about talking by myself on a show. Because I like being surrounded by my friends. I feel comfortable because of you guys.
And he's not joking. He literally spends an hour talking about his bowel movements. He literally just talks about shit.
Look, man, coffee is the greatest laxative.
It's true.
Next to corn.
A lot of people can't even have their first shit until they've had a big old hot cup of coffee. But for you, Dennis, again, thanks for being here, man. I'm going to play. Let me find something. This is one of my favorite videos, and I haven't played it in a long time. I'm going to let the whole thing go, and then we'll wrap this show up.
Goodbye, chocolate mousse. I'll never forget you. Goodbye, Ducroix. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, Deja Vu. I'll always remember you. And I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.
A.K.A. Dennis. Great film.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
It's one of my favorite films. Actually, Val Kilmer's two big first films are on my top 10 list of favorite films of all time, which is Top Secret and Real Genius. I mean, some of the lines in that fucking movie, he has delivered as an actor some of the most memorable lines in film, from Tombstone, Top Secret, to that movie, Real Genius. And Real Genius, I use actual quotes from that movie in my real life. Top Secret too. Like when someone tells me something, I have this idea, but I'm not sure how to work. I say, well, that thing's got the chance of a rat in a tampon factory. It was just straight out of top
It's a
secret.
moral imperative.
Moral imperative. I've used it millions of times. I put it under what is it? I put it under what letter? I can't remember. R for toys. Or whatever letter he used. It was like not related. He goes, I put that under the letter R for toys.
I guess you'll hammer later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that line delivered by Michael Gosch about the dead mouse in the tampon factory. I mean, this classic Hammer horror film actor delivering that line made it even funnier.
Oh my God, Michael Gough. I miss that man. What a great actor. That was a huge loss when we lost him. And that was what, 2 years ago, I think, Keith?
A little bit longer than that.
It was recent. Years. It was recent. But I want to thank everybody. You guys are great. My panel. Thanks for coming on, David. For being both our guest today and a panelist, a guest panelist. I like to
Tremendicon.
Would you be interested in coming on more, or is this it?
No, of course I would. Just let me know.
All right.
Unfortunately, with Tremendicon planning, and
I'm not going to bug you through June. I will not bother you. I will not bother you in June.
Afterwards, I would be happy to drop in occasionally for you.
Oh, that'll be great. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Martin. I did that to you. Tampons are only tea bags for vampires. We all know that joke. We heard it in fucking fourth grade.
Yeah.
You, sir, Brett Cohen, go back to where the water rotates backwards.
Okay, God. Let me have it.
Spoker, you said,
we got to go because Baron Tag has to leave. He's got porn to watch from on VHS.
Yes.
He's the only
laser disc. What are you
guys are fucking weird with your VH porn. I want to be able to get to it immediately, so I like digital media. That's not the scene. Do it for me. No, not the scene. Not the scene. Not the scene. I like to jump to it immediately. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. I'd just like to say, yes, Mom and Dad, these are definitely.
And once again, I hope that you clean off your keyboard so those gnats will go away, Keith.
I'm going to end this with one of my favorite, just little cut-ups and payoff in Real Genius, which is popcorn.
I was going to be a real dick right before you said I was going to end the show. Then I'm like, no, I'm going to let you finish it. Yeah, popcorn. Great ending. It is the movie that introduced me to Tears from Fear.
And porn.
I was like, holy shit, who did that song? I love that song. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I became a fan. So thanks again, guys. With that, for Keith and I and all of our friends, we want to bid you a fond adieu.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield.
I swear to God, Keith,
if you enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe.
I don't think he's black enough. Can we do another take?
Yeah, you talk more like this, motherfucker.
Also,
we're just going to talk over the credits every time.
Know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find.
We better have mutant hamster races.
Twitter,
that's all I'm going to
Facebook,
say.
Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.
Bye, Brett.
This is unreal.
Everybody have a great day. And it's the weekend. Hey, there's one.
Hey, wow.
Watch Top Gun 2, people.
Tremendicon.com.
What am I going to get on the credits?
Remember, the link to Tremendicon is in the video description, so check it out. Hey, if you can come, go to the show. Support your regional con.
Tremendicon. That's the word of the day. Remember it.
Vampire tampons.
Well, they're all just jealous of my big dick.
Are you calling?